Okay, we're recording.
Hello, my name is Johannes Sehai. I'm Deputy Chief of Staff for Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, and I handle energy issues for her. The first question is, do you think the government should be subsidizing part of the rising fuel price, or do I think that the government should be using the same money on new energy alternative research? And my answer is the latter. I don't think the government should be subsidizing the price of fuel because the reason the fuel prices are so high is because of rising demand, especially pushed by countries like China and India that are growing, and lack of supply. And the rising of the fuel prices has actually led recently to less people driving in the United States, less of a demand, and also has led to the price to go down slightly. So in that way, the market has actually been working, not as well as many people would like. But I think the government should not be subsidizing fuel prices. I think we want people to drive less. I think if anything, the government is showing this as people are driving less. They're actually having less funds for taxes, which go to reconstructing our highways. So I think it's much better to spend our money for alternative research and alternative sources of fuel, such as ethanol and hybrids and hydrogen. And in addition to that, I think it might be worthwhile to assist families who don't have enough money to heat their homes or can't have trouble paying their electricity bills. But I think fuel is not something that we want to subsidize. The second question is, do you think that the solution for global warming is in economic measures, or do we need a cultural change in our lifestyles to face the new reality and the world platform? My answer is I think both of them are important, but I think the most important thing is actually the regulations. I think the only way we'll be able to get global warming under control is if we have regulations domestically and regulations internationally. So I think the Kyoto Agreement was an important agreement that the United States was not a part of, but I think a lot of European countries have higher fuel efficiency standards than we do, so I think that's something we need to do. And industry will only have those types of efficiency standards if they're mandated by the government. And the good thing about that is we'll actually end up saving consumers money as well, since their cars will be more efficient. So I think government regulation is an important part, but I think economic measures are important as well. I think there should be incentives for companies to be more efficient, and I think there's been a lot of debate about allowing companies to buy carbon on the market. So I think that's a possible measure as well. But lifestyle is important as well. So we should have people making sure their houses are efficient, using light bulbs that are more energy efficient, and appliances that are more efficient as well. So I think all those kind of go hand in hand. But I think government regulation, both domestically and internationally, will be integral. The third and last question is, do you think the United States is setting a good precedent for developing countries for how to handle the rising demand for energy resources? Unfortunately, I think the answer is no. I don't think the U.S. has been setting a good precedent. It was one of our first, failures on the international scale happened at the beginning of the Bush administration, when Bush declined to sign on to the Kyoto Agreement. I think that was definitely a bad precedent to set. And I think even after that, when they've had international conferences more recently in Bali as well, I don't think the U.S. set a very good precedent. But I'm optimistic with the next administration that we'll be setting a much better example for countries like China and India to follow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.